Today's guest is a friend of mine from Sydney, Australia, Maddy Williams. When I visited Australia last month, I wanted to catch up with her and see how she was building her own small personal training business. She's gone a different route from most personal trainers. When I met her, I was a personal trainer at another gym. Instead, she had some very interesting insights into why she decided to go a different, seemingly more expensive route because of how she wanted to build something that was less toxic. Now, if you've ever been at a gym before, you know that there can be some toxicity to it. So she wanted to create her own culture, and she has done that incredibly. So listen in, find out her opinion on a couple of different things of how to properly lose weight, how to keep consistent. But moreover, she has a great opinion on the body positivity movement that is a common one, but a slightly nuanced way that she articulated it that I really liked. Now, just quickly, make sure to subscribe to the podcast wherever you're listening to this so that you can make sure that you don't miss an episode as well. But for now, let's get into the show. What's up, man?
Not much.
How long has it been since we've chatted face to face?
When did you move?
2021.
Really?
Yeah.
What month?
June.
Oh, so it's only like 3 years.
Yeah. But I was like,
were you still at... Oh no, I wasn't there.
COVID
COVID
was a thing.
I left before COVID. So that was like 4 years, nearly 5 years.
4 years.
That I haven't seen you.
But I feel like I still see you.
All I do is watch you.
Yeah, that's true.
On the line.
I was saying the other day, this Australian trip has been interesting because of social media. I feel like I still keep in contact with people so easily. Whereas hitting someone up, they're like, oh yeah, of course you're here, I'm going to catch up. But I haven't missed a beat with anything, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Well, your kid, I'm like, oh, it's Sienna.
It's true.
I have no idea who your child is.
You haven't met her? Oh no, of course you haven't.
No.
She's 2.5. I've been gone for 4 years. Math.
Yeah.
Quick math.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you opened a gym.
Yeah.
What happened?
Studio.
Why?
Why not? Is the real question. No, why not? And what next?
It's actually really cool. So it's funny because of all places you opened up, I used to walk past this shop area my whole high school life. To walk to Concord West Station down here. So when you told me this address, I was like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
So it's kind of, but I'm curious. Because most people would this is my personal belief is I would just leverage the established gyms so I don't have to buy equipment, I don't have to do anything, I don't have to think about anything.
Yeah.
Why'd you go this route?
Well, you've worked in a commercial gym, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's the environment, it's the people talking, it's your clients coming in and feeling comfortable with you, but then also giving side eye, being like, oh, who's watching me? Who's around? Mm. Then you get into that habit where you and your client are gossiping about someone that's over there who did this to you 2 years ago. And it just becomes this really negative experience. So instead I was like, I'm going to start training these motherfuckers out of my garage. And that was during COVID. And it was the best decision that I ever made because I had a private space where women especially could come and actually just relax, get to know each other, train with like-minded people. And then, you have to grow up eventually. Mm-hmm. So I had to move from the Garage Mahal
Is that what you call it?
Yeah, the Garage Mahal into something else, which was scary. But I was like, it's either I move into my own space or I go to a commercial gym. And I was not going to go down that path because I just watched how many trainers became these negative, sensitive, can I swear?
Yeah, I think I already have.
These negative, sensitive fucking cunts. And it's life is not that bad.
Yeah.
We don't have to be behaving like this. You know what it was like, the hierarchy, the little circus in the gym. And it's guys, it's actually sunny outside. Let's go and touch some grass and relax. So that's why.
Yeah, that was the one thing I found. Fuck, that guy's massive balls.
Huge penis.
Huge. Hits the floor.
Yes.
I'm not gonna lie. I had a Dodge Challenger for a little bit when my car was getting fixed. I was that guy every corner. It's so hard.
wouldn't be American if you didn't do that.
Not only that, it's like when you have a powerful car, here's the problem with having one. You have to put your foot down. It's just so like, nothing.
Well, if you're not going to, just stick to your little...
My Jeep. Beep, 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 beep.
Yeah.
But no, that was the thing I found really rough when I was a personal trainer. Your peers are your competition. And you're like, and the market that you're trying to fish out of, you're after the same people. It's such a weird system that is problematic because of that one reason. Like, and I was like, I got to get out of here where it's more just, it's not just that one pool that I can fish from, but instead it's literally, I can go anywhere and there's no limitation of people. I tried that before I left for America. Then when I went to America, it was much easier because it was a full reset. But yeah, I agree with your point. That was always a tough thing I hated because it's like you're talking to someone, prospecting them, then you find out that they had a conversation with another personal trainer 2 days ago just by chance, and then they're like, oh, he's trying to steal my client. I'm like, fuck, I didn't know.
Yeah, but like for me, right,
Or
some people love that. Some people love it.
Yeah.
The competition like drives them crazy, and then like, you know, take like poaching someone else's client, it becomes this like, oh yeah, did you hear that he did this and she did? I don't like that. Like I'm genuinely trying to help people.
Yeah, I want to hear your voice.
I'm genuinely trying to help people, you know. So watching all of these PTs just get absolutely ratchet with each other, I was like, this is not for me.
Yeah.
And I want to leave. So I did. And it was the best decision that I ever made because as soon as I left, every single negative person that was in my life was gone. And I was like, this is so lovely. I can just focus on me and my clients rather than every other fucking cunt in the gym that I don't want to see. You know what I mean?
100%.
And then you even hear gossip about other people's clients, like other PTs.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how do I know that your client of 5 years cheated on her husband 6 months ago with the butcher down the road? I shouldn't know that.
He has good meat.
Fair play.
Yeah, no, that was one thing. Like, it was a brutal thing, and I mean, look, I was guilty of being part of that. I'm not even gonna like pretend.
But it's so hard to stay out of it.
It's hard.
It's so hard, and you catch yourself in it, and you're like, "This isn't me," but also it must be because I'm liking it a little bit.
Yeah, well, the environment is dictating who you become. Like, it is very difficult to overpower your environment. It's 100%. A lot easier just to change the environment in a way that dictates the habits you want to develop.
Yeah, and then the people in that environment that was making me a piece of shit, once I started training people out of my garage, like of course I heard people talking, you know? I heard things from friends of friends of friends. And it's like, okay, there's a group of us. You guys are all talking about me, but right now I'm the only one that's different. You guys are all in this jungle and I'm separate. And the reason you're talking about that is because you are bothered that it's not you.
Yeah.
And
well, it's also people just know. I mean, I experienced it when I was trying to do music at the gym. Like everyone's talking about, like, oh, look at this guy. Like, look, don't get me wrong, I wasn't great at it, but I was trying. And I think people, we get threatened. We want to be.
People are so bothered by people trying something.
Yeah. Well, if you succeed at something I haven't tried myself, therefore I'm a failure. And that's a thought process for a lot of people. It's that or mentality instead of and. Like, in order for me to succeed, you have to fail. In order for you to succeed, I have to fail. It's not possible for both of us to succeed together.
But on that is when your life opens up. When you have the people in your life that are like, hey man, we can do this together. We can both succeed at the same time. That is when you're like, this shit is awesome. Yeah. But when you're surrounded by those people that are like, I'm doing really well, so I hope you're doing really shit. It's like, what's going on? I hate this.
Let's quickly tell a story about how Susan reversed her type 2 diabetes in 12 to 16 weeks. Now, we all know that traditional medicine, they're not in it to make you healthy, because if they can keep you in poor health, they can keep themselves rich. Now, this has become extremely frustrating with all of us now that the veil has been lifted from our eyes. And a lot of us are turning to holistic medicine because its goal is to get to the root cause, undo the problem, and help us live a better life, which is what we want. We don't want to be addicted or subscribed to these pills or medications for the rest of our life. Also because it's just freaking expensive. What Susan ended up doing, she got tired of hearing all these things, these excuses from doctors that, hey, don't worry, insulin's your thing, insulin's your friend, you're going to be on it for life and that'll keep you steady. Instead, she reached out to the team at ReVital. They had a look at her blood work, and through holistic interpretation, they gave her a pathway of nutrition, other support, so that she can take actionable steps. And what happened is, in her individual case, now we can't claim and we're not saying that this will happen to everyone, but in Susan's individual case, Susan reversed her type 2 diabetes in 12 to 16 weeks. It is a game changer for someone's quality of life. Now, if you have a chronic issue that every time you go to a doctor, they say, I'm sorry, there's nothing we can do, give ReVital a try. What you can do is just head to bit.ly/ReVital Health. That link is in the description of wherever you're watching or hearing this. Have a consultation call with my friend, Dr. Jared. Dr. Jared's been on our podcast. You may have seen the face a couple of times. He will see first, before you even commit to anything, whether or not he can help. Because this is, again, health is an ever evolving thing. It's nuanced, but he wants to make sure that you are the right fit for ReVital and make sure that he can serve you the right way. So if you want to find out, just book a call, have a conversation, see if it's right for you by just going to bit.ly/ReVital Health. That link is in the description. Make use of it and let's make your life feel better. I don't want to feel crap. I want to feel good. And so do you. Let's get back to the show. Alex Hormozy said something very poignant, which was most people will be your biggest cheerleaders as long as you don't overtake them.
Yes.
And that's how you know when someone is going to be a real ride or die person, is when they are like, holy shit, you overtook me? Fuck, teach me now. Or that's awesome. Like, you are way ahead of me.
Yeah.
How did you do that? Or just, dude, I'm so pumped for you. You know, like that's definitely the teetering thing coming back here. Like, my life is 20 times different over in America compared to here now.
Yeah.
And like, there's a little bit of pride, like I'm proud I've done it, but holy shit, it's more like, holy crap, I'm lucky, you know?
But
there's more that.
No, but you're not lucky.
Well, I'm lucky that,
like, look at every single thing that you did in the last few years. It's not luck that you ended up there, right? But the shit thing is
marrying my wife.
Yes.
Yeah, that's strategy.
Right? Thank you, Stacey.
Thank you, Stacey.
But the whole pride thing where you're like, I'm so proud of myself. If you're surrounded by shit cunts, you can't even share that. You can't even say, I'm proud of myself, because you know that they will turn around in a separate little chat and be like, oh, fucking bitch.
Yeah.
Oh, fucking Blake. He's so cocky. And it's like, is Blake cocky, or did he work really hard and now he's at a point where he can be proud of himself?
Yeah. And I find, like, it's like, I was having this conversation with Callan the other day, and it's funny. Your confidence becomes unbreakable in a non-arrogant way when you know you can look after yourself. And because once you have that confidence in yourself that, you know what, no matter what shit goes down, I'll be fine. All of a sudden, all those awe situations, all those awe thoughts, all those, that person has to fail in order for me to succeed, disappears.
It doesn't matter, because you're like, I'll deal with it when I get there. Yeah, if I get there.
I just know I can solve that problem.
Confidence is so important. I say this to my clients all the time. I don't like necessarily talk about, oh guys, like, be confident. I'm like, you bitches need to be delusional. Be fucking delusional, because no one is legitimately in your corner.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Maybe your husband or like your partner or whatever, like your bestie.
I find the ones that are, you need to find people that are 90% supportive, 10% pessimistic.
Yeah, you need a little bit of pessimism.
Because it's pessimism. Yeah.
Yeah. That's why I'm a PT.
Because I know the ones that are, the ones I'll always listen to are the ones that say, all right, cool. How?
Yeah.
How's that going to happen?
Yeah.
And it's not a confronting how.
No, it's not more just how are you going to do that? It's okay.
It's all right. So what are the steps? All right, I can see this problem, just be mindful of it. I can see that problem, just be mindful of it. Most people hear that, oh, they're Debbie Downer. No. You're negative. And it's like, no. I'm already starting to solve problems for you ahead of time. And
Yes.
those are the people you try and listen to.
Like,
I never listen to people who are like
If
100%
I
cheerleaders.
no,
If
if
they're like,
I
"You're gonna
share
crush it."
something with you and you're like, let's write it down, I'm either going to fuck you or just say thank you because that's so lovely. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you need that in your life, 100%. People that are like, yeah, do it. I'm like, you just want me to try. And then if I fail, I feel like you'll enjoy it a little bit too much. You know?
Well, Andrew Huberman spoke about a study recently. You know Huberman?
Yeah.
That everyone focuses on the negative people. Positive people are just as negative in terms of outcome. So they've shown studies that if, say you tell someone like, I'm gonna lose some weight, I'm gonna start a business, I'm gonna do insert the goal. Then all of a sudden when they tell these people, their friends, their family, and everyone's like, absolutely, you're gonna kill it, you're gonna do so well.
Yeah.
They have an initial dopamine spike, motivations that are high, they're doing it. Those cheerleaders, you can't be a cheerleader every single day for someone. Like I got shit to do in my life.
Yeah.
That if you're blindly optimistic or surrounded by blindly optimistic people, once that support dissipates just because they're life, your dopamine hit goes down because that you're riding on that dopamine to be your motivation. That your output goes below baseline.
Right.
Whereas the ones that are like, I'm going to lose weight, I'm going to start a business. The ones that are surrounded by, are the ones that usually will succeed because what is planted in them is like that little, fuck you, I'll show you. And
Yeah.
everyone I speak to who's successful they've started with that, fuck you, I will show
like,
you. And
by
then it
no
becomes
means
great.
successful, right? But the amount of people when I was like, I'm going to move from the Garage Mahal into something that were like, commercial leases and landlords. And I was like, you're a shit cunt. Like, get out of my way. And it made me go, fuck you. You're just upset because you won't do it or you missed the boat or you feel like you missed the boat. And now I want to do it even more.
Yeah.
I was just like semi-sold on doing it. But then the amount of people that were like, that's really hard. I was like, oh, I have to do this now.
Isn't it funny how that works? I'm the same. I'm very much, I need an enemy. Not like I'm not going to be, not to the point where like once I succeed, I go back to them like, haha. Like the point is, I just need that person, whoever, insert the blank. Michael Jordan did it with everyone to the point where it was like people going, I never said that. Like he made up enemies.
Fair enough.
But that thing where I just like, you want that person to be like, fuck that guy.
Yeah.
But then also eventually go like, I'm happy. You know, it's sort
Yeah.
of that full circle thing where they go, hell's yeah.
Yeah.
And you're like, all right, I dominated that. And I've got a couple of people in my life now where they're like, hell yeah, dude, you're crushing it. And they were on my list. And now I'm like, crap. Now I need to find new people to make up in my head to show them that I'm better.
100%. I have people like that as well, where I look back and I hated them like with so much passion. I was like, fuck you. You're my reason for succeeding. Right. And then you see them and they're like, oh, I'm so proud of you. And I'm like, what? That's what?
Like, crap. Okay, I need more fuel. Where's the fuel?
Your hatred was getting me up every morning
Yeah.
at 4 o'clock. And now I don't have your hatred. So what's going to wake me up?
Yeah. It is weird, isn't it? Do you ever use that? So with clients, do you ever try and find for them a micro enemy to drive them to keep coming to the gym, to lose weight, to keep consistent?
Maybe not an actual person, but a thing. Yeah, 100%. A feeling that someone wants to avoid forever. Yes, I'll always try and find that with certain people. There are some people where they are intrinsically motivated. They come here because they like it, but they're like, hey, I'm motivating myself. I just want to feel good.
Yeah.
There are other people where I'm like, so why do you want to start? And they're like, well, I want to lose some weight. And I'm like, okay, why? Oh, just the last few years I've put on a bit of weight. Why? But why do you want to lose that? What's the problem? And then after like a few minutes of talking and, breaking down the walls, they're like, oh, I got out of the shower last week and I saw my husband in the reflection of the mirror looking at me with disgust, and I never want to feel that way again. And then there you go. They will reach their goal because I unlocked that thing where they're like, holy fuck, I felt disgusting and I never want to feel like that ever again in my life, right?
Yeah.
So it's not so much a person where I'm like, there's your enemy, that person, but I'm like, that feeling is your enemy. Don't ever feel like that again. You know what I mean?
100%. I had that with a client. I won't name names, but I remember they were with me for years because it was a husband and wife, and same cliche shit. I'm like, all right, guys, what's your goal? And they're like, oh, I just want to lose some weight around the hips, this. And I go, all right, cool. Bear in mind, I didn't know who these people were.
Yeah.
From half an hour ago. And I'm like, all right, well, let's be real. You both are married. You're not trying to get laid anymore, I'm assuming. Mm-hmm. What's the real reason? And the husband turned to the wife and he just put his hand on her thigh and he was like, I need to be around longer for her. And I was like,
if that's not the love I have, I don't fucking want it.
But that was the reason that when health issues popped up, when something else popped up, they weren't excuses anymore. It was another reason, like, fuck, we got to keep turning up. We got to dial down certain foods. We've got to do.
That's incredible.
Yeah, but usually people just start and they're like, I want to be healthy. And I'm like, I don't want to be healthy. If I could have, like, the junk food I've had here, if I could eat that every day and feel good, I would love it.
100%.
But the truth is I am driven by fear. Like, my whole health thing is I'm driven by fear.
Yes.
I don't want to be that person that if I drop something on the floor, it takes me 4 seconds to pick it up. I want to be like, oh crap, boom, 1 second. I want to be, when the hurricane hit my house, I could trek an hour and a half across sand dunes in 35 Celsius weather to then pulling out by hand just carpet and everything for 8 hours to then trek another hour and a half back every single day.
Mine's like a bit niche, but like camping with a partner.
Camping?
Foot injury. I don't know. This is like not even real. Foot injury. Yeah, I'm going to carry you back to the car. Mm-hmm. Whatever the distance.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to pick you up and carry you and it's going to be fine.
Yeah. Yeah, I never want to be physically limited unnecessarily.
Well, yeah. Have you, like, I don't even know who said it. The whole theory about like what's his name? Dr. Peter
Attia?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. The marginal decade.
No.
That scared the living shit out of me.
What's the marginal decade?
Like, he speaks about how one day you cross over into the last decade of your life and you don't know until the day that you die, right? And he's like, what will your marginal decade look like? Because most people, it is a steady decline and then a sudden, like, dead. See you later, right?
Yeah.
That's so scary to me because the last 10 years of my life, like, imagine living this entire life and then you get to the last 10 years and you're like, well, I can't even live because I've fucked myself so royally the past few years.
Yeah.
So when I read about that, I was like, okay, I'm no longer chasing like an aesthetic or a lifestyle where I'm like, yeah, I go to the gym and like go in the sauna. I'm chasing a healthy last decade of my life. Mm-hmm. Like, I want to do shit with the last few years. Go to a nursing home. What the fuck?
Oh, it's depressing, right?
Don't put me in there. Smother me. Get rid of me before I get into a nursing home. So yeah, reading about a marginal decade, whenever I'm like, I'm not going to the gym, I just think about it. I'm like, the last 10 years of my life, what will they look like if I consistently miss a session here and there? You know?
Yeah.
Fuck that. Not interested.
Yeah, it is funny how like you've got to, like, I've gotten in disagreements with my family overseas because it's like, I'll be like, no, I got to go to the gym. And because I want to, mixed with I have to, they only see the want to. So like, oh, you always do what you want. And I'm like, well, here's the thing. All my wants are driven by needs. And
yes,
I go to the gym again because I need to not be limited. I want to not be limited. And then there's so many times where the family's very grateful that my fitness is at a very high situation. Like the house, when the house got hit by the hurricane, there was 3 days of me doing 12 hours of physical labor non-stop.
Yeah.
That saved a lot of money because of mold not developing further. And then past that, like moving things, like, you know, the in-laws are exhausted, and obviously like, they're older than me, but they're watching me and I'm just like, go, 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 go. And they're just like, they've never complained about me going to the gym since, because I'm like, this is why I go. So
I need to be involved in a hurricane
pretty much
to alter my life, is what you're saying.
Pretty much. It shifted the viewpoint of my focus on the health. I think the tricky thing is too, is like when you look good, people assume it's because of the looks. When it's more, obviously it started with, like, my fitness journey started with vanity. I was freaking 8. I was 18 wanting to, like, you know,
100%
get my
all of us
booty tang going, you know?
Yeah.
So, but then it obviously transitioned, like everything does these days. Well, yeah, my viewpoints transitioned. But it then developed into, well, I want to stay looking younger for longer. So it still was vanity.
Dude, and you look
36, baby.
You maybe
like
look
months.
younger than when I saw you 4 years ago.
That might be the peptides, but maybe not.
Are you taking peptides?
Fuck yeah, why wouldn't I?
Oh, for real?
Yeah, the podcast with Man Lab. That's T Clinics USA. Shout out, guys. That's they do testosterone, peptides, all that stuff.
All right. How are you finding it?
I just get them from them. No, I'm kidding. No, it's very interesting. Like, my whole thing is, again, longevity. I don't care about getting big. I don't care about, like, the looks are important, but the irony is, if you prioritize your health, the looks follow.
Yes.
And I think like that was the one thing where, when I was, my 2 massive shifts in viewpoints on fixing my eating was 21, 24, and then 28, where I started dialing in my eating. Because when you're 18, I was eating whatever the fuck I wanted, cheesecake twice a day.
Yeah.
Training like a mofo still. And then, but it was like, all right.
Dirty bulking. We've all been there.
I never bulked. I was never a bulker. This body doesn't bulk.
Okay.
But the thing was, it was I lent into my negative mindset of vanity for positive outcomes, because I was like, all right, in order for me to be younger for longer, what do I have to do? The irony is, if you do it properly, it comes down to eat healthier, sleep better, train more, and do mobility. Like,
no. I'm just going to go to the gym once and not eat carbs and give up next week,
that's
because that's how it works. Sorry, it's
Yeah,
actually not what you just said. But with that, have you found, like, watching, like, as a PT, and even now just as an adult, you watch people on that journey, it always starts with vanity. It's always something like, I want to change this about my appearance, right? It's the people who stick it out long enough that cross over into that, I'm doing this for health reasons. But the people who don't make it drop off, and then they come back to the start again for a new reason to do with their appearance, drop off just before they get over that line.
Every time.
Yeah.
Well, it's because it's impatience, you know, like we always compact our history. So it's like, I put on this weight, just appeared out of nowhere. It's like, no, it didn't. You put on 30 pounds, kilos, whatever country you're listening to this to, but you put on those 30 pounds across 2, 3, 4, 5 years, and then you expect to lose it in 3 weeks. And then once you lose it, you stop training, you stop eating healthy.
Yes.
And then you blame that the diet doesn't work because I put the weight back on.
You are not a medical mystery. You are just another average Joe who couldn't stay disciplined long enough. I'm so fucking sorry. Like, and I will say that to my clients. I'm like, guys, like, there is nothing wrong with you.
Yeah.
You're not an anomaly. You're just another person who is struggling to be consistent, and that is okay. But what makes it okay is self-awareness, is being like, hey, I'm fully aware that I'm being a shit cunt. I just need a break.
Yeah.
And I'll try and restart.
I think everyone as well. So one person asked me recently, they're like, how hard do you train, or what's your like along the lines of, you know, how do you keep going to the gym? And I've noticed that a lot of people, when this was personal training, this is even now that I'm in America, I'm in still the health space with a bunch of my content, but where most people fail to keep consistent with their journey of losing weight or keeping healthy is they want every workout to be good and high quality. Whereas all I care about is turning up to the gym.
Some days it's going to be a box ticker. That is it.
Some days I would say like at least 30% of my workouts, I walk away going, that was a fucking waste of an hour.
But if I stand in the gym and spin around for 30 seconds, I'm like, I got here.
Yeah.
I still did the hard part of getting changed, getting in the car, driving here. There's my discipline. I still showed up even though I trained like a fucking fanny.
All right, guys, let's quickly talk about testosterone levels in men. As we hear often that it's decreasing in a lot of people, but what we're not aware of is it's a natural phenomenon to happen as you age. Now, that can be as young as your early 20s or as late as, if you're lucky, your late 40s or 50s. Now, there are a couple of telltale signs, and you probably haven't even looked into it because either you're just not aware of it or you haven't really thought about it, or going and getting a blood test just seems like a massive headache because it's a half a day probably. You got to fast the night before, the morning of. You don't really want to do it. But there is a free online test that only takes about 60 seconds to fill out that can give you up to an 88% accuracy indicating whether or not you may or may not have low testosterone. Now, this test, the link will be in the description for this. It is called the ADAM test. So it stands for some fancy name that I haven't really been paying attention about, but this is done by T Clinics USA. So these guys, I pair up with them. I do another podcast with them called the Man Lab that's all about peptides, testosterone, all that sort of cool shit. Now, this is not saying you have to do that, but if you're interested in finding out whether or not you have low testosterone, or at least have an indication of it, head to bit.ly/the Adam test. That is TheAdamTest. That is bit.ly/the Adam test. That link is in the description of whatever channel you're watching this right now. So if you want to go check that out, it's 60 seconds. Click the link in the bio right here, and you can fill that out to find out. And if you find out you probably have low testosterone, the guys at T Clinics can reach out to you, or you can reach out to them to see what you can do to make yourself feel more energetic, maybe increase your sex drive, whatever it is you're after, because we all know that testosterone levels, it just, when they're up, you feel up, and when they're down, you feel down. So bit.ly/the Adam test, and let's get back to the show. That's what I tell people. I'm like, you should make your goal based on just turning up. And here's the thing. If you say to myself, look, I'm just going to turn up to the gym for 15 minutes. That's all I'm going to do. I guarantee if you set that goal for 15 minutes, you will stay longer. And I've also said to people, because they're like, I just don't know what to do. And I'm like, again, just keep turning up. And unless you are completely mentally retarded, you will eventually figure out little nuances to things.
Just give it a fucking crack.
Yeah.
All the time. Just give it a crack and you will figure it out. Something that I do for myself when I don't feel like training is I show up. I don't just spin around for 30 seconds.
That is fun though.
I always do my favorite exercise, which is like a little treat.
What's your favorite exercise?
I just love bicep curls.
Really? You just train the guns?
Yeah.
Interesting.
There's something about like going out in like a bodysuit and then just flexing.
Really?
Like in a club or something. I couldn't do that if I didn't start with bicep
turn
curls.
The chicks on.
Exactly. Curls get the girls, Blake. All right. But if I don't feel like training, I'm doing bicep curls. And then as soon as I've done bicep curls, I'm like, my confidence right now, I'm delusional because my biceps are pumped. Nothing can stop me. And I'm like, now I have to fucking work out. I have to support my biceps with the other parts of my body. It makes no sense.
No, that makes total sense.
But it makes sense to me.
No, it makes total sense because that's with a lot of things where it's just like, I may as well do one more. And then you do one more and you're like, I may as well do one more.
Like a fucking packet of Tim Tams, except fitness, you know? Oh, Tim Tams. I'm going to have one Tim Tam. Oh, fuck. I'll have 2.
I have 9.
Yeah. And then you've got 3 left and you're like, I may as well finish the packet. It's just like that with a shit workout.
Yeah.
Start with one that you don't mind and then you keep going.
And that's it is funny because It only clicked to me recently because the gym, I've never really realized that, but I started applying that mentality to everything else I did, which was, all right, I want to do video content. Just do one. Eventually, your skills get better because you're just doing more. And because you start realizing like, all right, this one sucked. All right, this one sucked a little bit. This one sucked a little bit less. And then, all right, tweak this, tweak that. And if you make the goal of just turning up and making whatever it is, like business, fitness, you'll eventually get better.
Yeah.
But I think people end up just getting frustrated because they think that it should be like, you know, the amount of times people tell me like, oh, you're fit because of genetics. I'm like, you're right. It has nothing to do with the fact that I've consistently trained probably 400 hours
Don't
a
even
year.
fucking get me started on cunts that say that. Like, oh, yeah, okay, maybe genetics. Maybe genetics impacts what part of me grows the fastest. Maybe, but still in purport, like, you know, in relation to the rest of my muscles.
Yeah.
Are we really going to compare the two of us when I'm going to the gym 4 days a week, 5 days a week, training consistently, but there's only one cunt sitting here saying it's genetics who doesn't exercise, and that is you.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
100%.
Oh, in every like irritating situation like that, I always think about that. I'm like, which one of us is sitting here whinging? Because it's not me.
Yeah. And it's like, it's funny because I usually will say to people, so I've got zero tolerance for people who complain about the outcome that are not doing the actions. If you're doing the actions, I'll give you a little bit. Like I'll
only a little bit.
But then I'll say, all right, cool, go and do blank, or you know, try this. If you go and try it, great. The funny thing is they won't complain after that. But
No.
the fuse that gets me usually in trouble with a lot of people is they will say, complain. Like, I've put on 10 pounds. All right, cool. When was the last time we went to the gym? Well, you see, shut the fuck up. Don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care. Because you already know the reason. You already know why. You just want someone to say, don't worry. The reason that's fucking staring you in the face is not the reason.
No.
It's because of some fucking herb you ate all the time.
They want someone to be like, it is not your fault.
Yeah.
You are not the reason you are obese. Which, I mean, of course, there are circumstances where like there are factors that contribute, of course. Like, do not get me wrong. But at the end of the day, it's you, mate.
Yeah.
It's always going to be you. You're the reason you're fat.
Yeah. It's true.
I can't say the F word. That's terrible.
Why can't you?
I don't know.
F word, like fat or fuck?
Did you say fag?
No, I can't. I don't know. I said fat.
Oh,
You can.
I said fag.
You can say fag.
I don't think I can.
Why not?
I think only men can say fag. I don't think you can actually say it.
Why not?
I don't know. I don't know the rules. I just keep my mouth shut.
Yeah.
In the morning before I go to work, I look in the mirror and just say every word you're not allowed to say, and I get it out.
You just call yourself a fag in the mirror.
Have you been recording me? Can you see me in the morning?
You're just like fuck, fag.
Fucking faggot.
No, it's I think right now the whole situation is just bizarre, and people that say, "Hey, you're responsible," are labeled insane labels that are just. There's a huge. It's not. Yeah, it's a victim mentality. I hate that term because it's so overused now.
Yeah,
but it's just like removal of responsibility. Like, yes, the environment of the food we've got right now and the sedentary lifestyle is part of the problem. But guess what? Once you're aware of it, shut up. Now you're being aware of it means that you have the ability to start changing it. And if you're aware of something, meaning you're aware that you're overweight because of the foods that are available, guess what? Stop having those foods at your house. There's the first step. Start moving a bit more. There's the second step. And again, if you're complaining but you're aware of it, shut the fuck up.
But like people like that, you could say, hey, all you need to do is walk to your letterbox once a day and you will get the results that you want. And they're like, ah.
Letterboxes?
What?
I know. Does people get letters still?
Yes.
Really?
You don't get mail?
I get email.
Mail?
I walk like I don't have to walk to it though.
The fuck? I get mail.
No, really?
Love letters.
Really? That's
Yeah.
so romantic.
Yeah.
But okay, love letters. What's why this location?
Concord.
Yes.
Well, I was in Putney, like working from home, like so just like 5 minutes up the road.
Yeah.
I was looking in Gladesville, too saturated. And then I just found this spot and I was like, this is like big enough where I can do something, small enough where I'm not panicking.
Yeah.
It was a steady transition over. So that's why I chose this spot. And then also I was like, frontage, great.
And so one thing that interests me with this, how with trainers that are at a gym, you wait for people to walk in the door. The gym does the hard work of pulling people through the door. How are you finding clients to come to this venue as opposed to a different gym?
Well, the biggest thing is the signage. That's why it's black and yellow, because people drive past and they're like, what the fuck is that? And then they call me and they're like, oh my gosh, I was just driving to work and I was thinking about how I need to start training and then I saw your sign.
Yeah. You'd have foot traffic here too because it's
Lots.
straight onto the train station.
It's great.
too.
But mainly it comes through social media. Yeah.
Doing
just
the
like
videos?
Consistent posting
Yeah.
with some improvement in my content creation.
I give you tips and you just go, you do it the next video and I'm like,
100%.
dang, hells yeah.
Because I'm watching your videos and I'm like, that looks cool. So when you say something, I'm like, I'm going to try that.
Yeah. There was one shot you did in a video which I thought was really creative. You started with the phone in the locker.
Yes.
So you started with a black screen, which was extremely unique because that breaks the scroll because people aren't used to a black screen. Like you're scrolling used to something stimulating.
And the hook was, I don't know who needs to hear this, which like people in our age bracket, they just cannot scroll without knowing what they need to hear.
No, that was a very creative one because I think you saw that after, I think I was doing the scene switching or something and you're like, I got to try that.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden I'm like, I see the next video and you're doing the same thing.
And I grabbed it out of the locker and then it switched. Yeah, that's because I saw your video and I was like, Blake, crazy. Love that.
Yeah.
And I tried it.
I think that one did good numbers too, didn't it?
My one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Scene switching, baby.
Yeah, love it. But like so much effort.
Is it?
No. See, that was me being a victim just then.
That was.
I'm so sorry. Yeah, it's actually not hard.
It's funny. I find scene switching easier, more entertaining, and
it shortens my videos because I'm like, I'm just going to whip out one line here and then switch. And it makes me more concise.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then editing it as well becomes easier because
So
you're
quick.
just like, you snap them together, add some captions, video's done.
Yeah.
It's a very effective style.
Yeah.
And so,
Thank you.
Have you done it any more since then of that style?
Maybe.
Yeah.
My posting in the last month has been not much.
Why is that?
You know, life, being a victim. Being a victim of life.
Okay. We got to do more. How many leads would you say you get from social media?
Most of them are from social media.
Really?
Yeah.
And so here's something that people under-observe, don't realize. It's not like you're going crazy viral. You know, like I remember you were telling me like you're pumped if your video got like 5,000 views, which is still good.
But that's all I need.
But that's all you need because people are like, I mean, everyone gets really, dopamine hit from 1 million. I think I've personally made more money from my videos that consistently get 3,000 views than I'll get like that Nutcracker Nutsucker video that got 37 million views. Didn't do shit.
Yeah.
But the people that knew me were like, oh, that's cool. That went viral. And I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
The other video did better, like that had 4,000 views.
Yeah.
So.
But see, if I'm like consistently like pumping out like little gold nuggets of information, there are people that are just sitting back and they're watching me and they're watching and they're watching and they're watching, not thinking about me, but they're watching.
Yeah.
2 years down the track, they get engaged. They're about to get married and they're like, oh, I think I want to lose a bit of weight before my wedding. Maddy.
First person I think
message me. And I'm like, hey. And they're like, I love your videos. Like, I love your social media. Like, I love that you're so real on it.
Yeah.
Great.
And the part from that then is, this is what I tell people too with it is, it's marketing, it's not sales.
Yeah.
So most people get caught up with, like, you know, if you're a personal trainer, if any business, they're like, well, how many leads can you get me? And I'm like, I don't fucking know. One day I'll post a video, you get 15, 20. Next day you get none. But what happens is those people that are DMing you, you're not going to have to you just tell them the price and they go, that's cool. Like, they've already emotionally invested in
I need to pause. I need to turn the aircon off.
No worries.
Is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine.
Let me leave first.
You too cold, are you?
No, it's fucking broken.
Really? Oh, it drips? Oh, that's not good.
And like, because I'm renting, the landlord's like, fuck you.
But yeah, like, you know, once people message you, you don't have to be like, well, this is what you get and blah, 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 blah. Like, you're
no,
like, cool,
you know
coming
exactly
in.
what you get. So
Come
what
in.
I did recently was, through my website, it used to be like inquire, and then I'd like contact you. I changed it to download our booklet. It's got services, pricing, a few testimonials, what it all looks like, so that when someone reads that and then they contact me, we're ready. See you next week. See you tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
I don't even have to talk to people, because by the time they contact me, they're ready to go. And I love it.
That's really good, actually.
Yeah.
That's real good. I'm going to have to steal that. Hope you don't mind.
No. I've stolen all of your video ideas, so yeah.
Tradesies.
100%.
Yeah, no, that's cool, because it's that's the biggest thing I think people overlook with the content. They just think that it's sales, when it's more like, you think of how much time you spend trying to convince someone, because that's what sales is. You're trying to convince someone to part with their hard-earned money for the service that you're going to provide or the product you're going to provide. Where if you can just do that on scale, like, again, if it's 2,000 views if you're posting once a day, that's 2,000 potential people that might eventually just go fuck it in a week or
100%.
2 months or whatever.
Yeah. And like, something that changed things for me with my business was, you know, like the classic, like, treat them mean, keep them keen with, like, you know, partners or crushes or whatever. I have that same thing with clients. The clients that I have, I genuinely love them.
Yeah.
I care for them so deeply. So if we're in a space together for an hour, like 3 times a week, I'm not just going to let any random person come into that space. So I'm not going to try and convince you to join. But if you can show me that you really want to be there, then I'm excited and I'm going to invest in you.
Yeah.
But if you're like, hey, like, oh, that doesn't really work for me, fuck off. Not interested.
Yeah.
Go to a commercial gym. Go somewhere else, because I don't want you here. And I know that my other clients don't want you here.
Yeah. No, that's good, because have you read the book Oversubscribed?
No,
So,
I can't read.
Audiobook? You can listen?
So quick.
Just 2x it. The oversubscribed is basically what you're kind of saying. Like, so, you know, the worst thing is to be in desperation. So it's like, oh, I want to make sure that I can, you know, I want to make sure that all my slots are available. Well, if 80% of your slots are available, don't try and overdo too much yet. Make the other 20% desirable, but again, keep that, like, you know, your value. And if you're putting out that content constantly, you're always convincing them, like, hey, look, you know, you want me over the other person, like the other trainer, the other gym, whatever it is. So you're constantly convincing them subconsciously, I'm the better choice for you.
Yeah.
And eventually, like, you know, the best part is being oversubscribed, where it's like you're fully booked.
Yeah.
And then now someone has to wait a month, and it's like, hey, the price now for my old clients is still the same. This is what I did when I was a personal trainer. My price just would go up every 6 months.
That's me with one-on-ones.
Yeah.
So old clients, you're on the original price, and I love you so much, and I want you to stay there. New people, you're probably not going to pay for that hour, and that's okay.
Yeah.
It's full anyway.
Yeah.
Fuck off.
Yeah.
And they're like, would you do it for this much? No. And it's not available anymore. Bye.
Yeah. And I was talking to someone the other day, because I was saying how Australians always try and haggle you down. I'm like, nah, it's just kind of everywhere.
Yeah.
Like, you know, but you can get it. You can get cheap, fast, or good. You're going to choose two. And again, my thing is similar to your thing is, but you need to reach that threshold where it's just like, I don't care. I'm not going to cheapen my time.
I don't
And it
know what
sounds like you're
happened
at
to me,
that
but I
point.
don't care.
Yeah.
Because I already care so much about the people I'm training. I don't have the capacity to care about someone who's not serious.
Well, especially if they're trying to get it cheaper.
If
what's
you're
gonna
trying to
happen
get
is
that cheaper,
it's because they don't value it and therefore
Yeah.
they won't come back.
not interested.
Yeah. That's a hard thing for business owners, particularly PTs. Like the thing I could not stand with personal training was the way that they would push you to be like, you know, sell people on 10 sessions so they get a discount.
No.
I did that once, sold the 10 sessions like that. Do you think that the girl came back the next time she had to part with $750?
No.
No fucking chance. Whereas the ones that were just paying me 90 every week,
Also,
every week.
My first hour is going to be the same as my 10th hour. And
Yeah.
I'm not going to make my 10th hour cheaper because you're paying me up front.
Yeah.
I don't like that. It's not happening.
Yeah, it's brutal. So how is that the wall? That wall there?
That's a wall.
That's the wall of your clients? Do you just take
Yeah, there's
photos of
some
all
of
of them? Some
Yeah.
of them? How many you got now?
There's about 45. Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah, it's super cool.
Killing it, huh?
And they're all legendary. Like the classes are a bit off chops.
How many
Pretty much
people in a
people
chart-
just come
in
in
a
here
class?
and bully me. Four at a time.
This is a good space for 4.
Yeah, it's a solid space for 4. It's enough room. Everyone gets to chat, gets to know each other. It's really lovely. You know, mainly women, so a bit of banter as well. And just bullying me. But I'm happy to be the punching bag if it means you're going to be happy. Yes.
You gotta bully
Character
back.
building.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I met with Gina, one of my clients, when I used to train here
Yeah.
and she hasn't found a trainer yet because she's just like, I need someone who's mean, but just the right amount, like I was to her. Whereas she goes, most trainers will be like, they'll either be really nice to her and she'll be like, fuck off. And they're like, oh, I'm sorry. Or they don't know how to juggle the mean. So they just become mean. And she's
yeah.
like,
No,
I
it needs
need
to be mean with like a bit of flair.
playful.
Yeah. Playful
Yeah.
mean.
Like,
well, that's what it's like
slapping
in
with
here.
a smile.
Yeah. Yeah. That's exactly what it's like in here.
Yeah.
And then it's so cute. Like I watch them all like start bullying each other. But that sounds horrific.
No.
This is the worst way to sell my business. They get,
bring
you know,
back shaming.
they bully each other. And I just sit back
Positive
and
bullying.
I'm like, this is incredible.
Yeah.
Like I did this. Now there are 5 women in this room
Bullying each other.
but with so much love.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I love it.
Yeah. No, you need that culture, and it sounds like you're doing that. Like I always looked at like Callan at the gym. Callan was very good at creating the culture around himself. Like, and it was the same principle. The shit talking at that gym because of Callan and his clients, and they were the ones that kept coming back. They
Love it.
kept, like, you know, they'd walk in and be like, check out this fat fuck. Like,
Yeah.
as his client's walking in, like he's calling his client
Yeah.
a fat fuck. But
Which
they
to like an
love
average Joe, that sounds horrific. But to build up to that point is
Yeah.
very impressive.
Well, again, it comes down to that in what we were talking about earlier. It's the intention behind it.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like,
I'm not genuinely calling you fat.
you are fat, but it's endearing, you know?
Yes.
You know?
It's like saying
I have
cunt.
a forehead. Like, why do you think this hair's grown? I'm covering my 5
Dude,
head.
look at my fucking 5 head.
You have a 3 head. Shut up. You have a small forehead, dude.
No, I get bullied horrifically for the size of my head.
Really?
But my confidence is at delusion level, so it doesn't bother me.
Interesting. See, I wouldn't say you have a big head. Not a forehead, anyway.
Thank you.
Very small forehead.
I'm glad this is on film so I can keep watching it back. Whenever I have a moment of doubt, I'll be like, but Blake said it's fine.
It's a fine forehead.
It's fine.
Yeah. No, I got a definitely big one. Like my wife, like, look at that thing. That thing. Nah.
Okay.
Nah.
Yeah.
Dude, if we had a competition, I'm winning.
Okay.
You just lost that competition. Yeah, but your hands are smaller than mine. Do you want a tape measure for this shit? What are you doing?
I've got a pretty big hand.
You actually do have very big.
Dude.
What the fuck? How big is your dick?
Depends. Yeah.
Holy crap.
My head's huge.
Yeah, but mine. Now you're making me second guess myself.
Are you thinking your head's small?
I'm thinking I'm a lesbian.
Yes. Yes, you are.
Probably.
100%.
Yeah, I definitely am.
Yeah.
Can't get any dicks.
I'm like, I've got like slight anxiety because I'm like, I feel like we have to talk about body positivity and I'm waiting for it to come up.
I love it. I wasn't going to, but now you are.
Yeah.
All right, well, no, okay. Before we spoke about this podcast, because part of your nerves were the fact that you didn't want me to bring it up, and I didn't.
Yeah, but now I'm
did.
like, I've got,
All right, fine.
you know, I'm thinking about it.
Uh-huh.
So I'm like, I think we should talk about it.
All right, we should talk about it. What's your opinion and viewpoint on body positivity?
Now my anxiety is worse.
You're
No,
welcome.
my opinion is you are so lovely, not you, just people in general. You're so
I'm lovely.
lovely and so beautiful, and you deserve love and you deserve respect, but no amount of respect will stop Diabetes from taking you to the grave early. You know what I mean?
100%.
Like body positive, me, always positive about everybody, every shape. Love it.
But
Body
get on a
stupidity.
treadmill.
No, like I will not get around you being a fucking fool about your health. And I find the conversation weird because if I'm talking to someone who is attacking or being so defensive about body positivity, it's like, okay, well, there's two people sitting here. I don't need validation. You do. So, you know what I mean? It's like, are you actually body positive or are you extremely insecure?
Yeah. I find as well, so the body positivity movement, you can correct me on this, and it feels like, first of all, body positivity is 99% female. No one sees a guy on a thing going like, like no one gives a shit about an overweight guy. No, like a guy who's like, hey, I feel good in my skin. There's no group going, fantastic.
Yeah.
Well done, Phil.
Yes.
Your gut's fantastic. Everyone's like, shut up and get on the treadmill. But like, it's definitely a female driven thing, which is, it's funny because, but then the men get the blame. It's a body positivity thing. And it's because men are so shallow and we're like, well,
But
look,
being a woman, women are so awful to other women. So terrible. And they're like, oh, men this, men that. Oh my God, she's so fucking fat. And I'm like, oh, I thought we weren't doing what men were doing. And now we're doing it.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I remember a few years ago, probably recently. I can't remember what brand it was. Maybe like Calvin Klein had a billboard of women in underwear and they were maybe what you would class plus size models. I don't know. And people were like, why would we have that up? Blah, blah, blah. Or the other side were like, my God, they're so fucking beautiful. Okay, like how about we just meet in the middle? Like they're just people
Yeah.
in underwear, normal people. Love that for you.
But it should be like the people on a billboard, they should be aspirational. You know what I mean?
Do you think?
100%.
I disagree.
Hear me out and then you can tell me why I'm wrong.
All right, I'll listen.
Everyone, I will buy things. So this is the marketer's point of view. The customers buy things because I believe that the thing will give me the thing that I want. The item will give me the outcome that I want. Now, females look at Victoria's Secret models and they're like, holy shit, she's beautiful before the woke, the actual original ones. And then you buy that lingerie because it's going to make me feel like I'm that good. I look like that.
Yes.
Michael Jordan shoes. I guarantee if you brought out a 5-foot Down syndrome athlete pair of shoes, no one's buying them.
Yeah,
and that's not a disrespect to that guy, the 5-foot guy with Down syndrome. I love him. He's fantastic. But no one's buying those shoes. They buy the Jordans because they're like, I think those Jordans, he plays really well, and part of it is because of his shoes.
But I think there might be a difference between men and women in that respect, right? Because for me, like if I'm buying shoes, or I don't know, like say you're buying shoes, you're like Michael Jordan. Cool. Look at that guy. He's so cool. I want his shoes.
He is cool.
Women looking at underwear, if you are overweight and you see another overweight woman in underwear and you're like, oh, yeah, I'm going to go and buy those those. I like those. Whereas if you see some skinny bitch in underwear, you're like, okay, well, I can't fucking wear that. So why would I even, you know what I mean?
I get where you're coming from.
Because I think for women, it can also be more of a comfort thing. It's like, I feel more comfortable now because I can see someone else in my position. Whereas men, it's like, I want to look cool.
Why do you sound like a surfer? Yeah, man.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
I know right now I'm dressed like I'm about to either go to Hawaii or I'm about to be some sleazebag on a yacht in Miami, but I'm deliberately doing something right now, and that is trying to get your attention. This is what we all need to be doing for our business. It doesn't have to be as ridiculous as this, but short form content is where it is at. Yes, it is so saturated right now, but that actually makes it very easy because there's a lot of people who have no idea what they're doing, which makes it easier for you to increase your sales for your business. Now, my business outside of this is actually a short form production company called Sky Media House, and our clients typically see a 2 to 10x ROI on their investment with short form content with us. Just this month alone, we've had 6 videos hit over 1 million views for a total of 10 million views between just those 6. Now, put that into perspective. 10 million pairs of eyes have seen 6 videos of our clients just alone. That's not including all the other videos that we have produced for them. Now, what we've noticed outside of that virality is that 85% of consumers will first Google about you. So if they're trying to say find a landscaper, they're going to search landscaper in my area. Hopefully your SEO is doing a good job. And if it's not, YouTube short form actually helps build your SEO. But 2, once they find whether or not you are an option, and if you're in the top 5, they then will research if they like you. And they do that by Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, or YouTube Shorts. And this is a popular one popping up. The reason that's powerful is because what happens is you start developing a relationship with your potential clients before they've even called you, and that speeds up the sales process and gives you an unfair advantage against your competitors when they call your competitors. They're going to be comparing you to them, and you're going to be winning. This is why short form is such a vital component, but it has to be engaging. If it doesn't connect with your audience, you're not going to make sales. So if you wanted to find out how we help clients make 2 to 10 times the money they invest in us month after month, go to skymediahouse.com, book a call with me, and we'll have a quick conversation to see if we align. And if we do, we can talk where we go from there. skymediahouse.com. Let's get back to the show.
I hear what you're saying.
But also, we've never been obese.
That is another thing. Well, here's the thing. I think, the reason why I also believe is like we should put people to be aspirational in front of us is, when did being obese be aspirational? It is the least amount of effort. Like, all you have to do is sit on your ass and eat food. I should be rewarded for the hard work. Now, I'm not saying that 20-year-old females with great booties necessarily do a lot of hard work. There's another problem as well where there's 40-year-old women that compare themselves with 20-year-old Instagram girls, and they go, why don't I look like her? Like, that was another thing I had to deal with clients.
Yes.
They would be on social media looking at 20-year-olds going,
yes.
Oh, and I'm like, hey, bitch, you've had 2 kids. Cut yourself some slack.
And this bitch doesn't have pubes yet.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. So there's that component. But I also think that, I don't know, like, there's an aspirational component. If I see someone who's overweight in clothes, I don't look at that and be like, fuck, I want to be like that person.
Yeah.
And that's part of marketing. Unfortunately, the part of marketing is, I want to be like that person.
Yeah.
Like, even a lot of women I know, they stopped buying Victoria's Secrets as an example because they were like, like, because they would walk in, they didn't know why they didn't feel connected anymore. It was because it was like, there was that subconscious thing of, and these girls they're not Victoria's Secret size, but they're like, I just don't connect. Like, this is something different about Victoria's Secrets. Then Victoria's Secret starts coming back with the angels again. They're bringing that stuff back, and girls like, I love Victoria's Secrets.
Yes. There was that period a few years ago where what are they called? The Victoria's Secret fashion show, the big one with the angels. Yeah. It blew up for like 2 years, and then it kind of, are they still doing that? They're
bringing it back a little bit, but to my understanding. But again, it's because they like Victoria's Secret models were known because they were like, holy shit, these girls are 11 out of 10. They're not even human. And that's what made them big. Here's the thing. If that worked, guess what? It wasn't just men going, oh my God, have you seen the Victoria? It was mostly women.
Oh, no. Yeah, I remember being in high school and we'd watch it.
Yeah.
When it came out and we'd be like, oh my God, look at them.
Yeah.
Like,
and then their sales went up. Yet as soon as you took away that and it started being more inclusive, which I have a whole other opinion of that, but the inclusiveness when you had a Down syndrome model kind of felt weird. That was a bit weird. But like there was a lot of, it wasn't these unattainable women in this lingerie. Their sales went down. And here's my thing.
which you always want what you can't have. You want that unattainable thing.
And so
you're right.
that's the thing is like emotion aside, like your point was accurate, but I think here's where the data doesn't lie. If the sales went down when they started showing real women and then they brought back the unreal women and the sales went up, people say what they think they believe and their actions are always different. That's why when people like, oh, social media is toxic. I want to see happy stuff. But then they keep fucking looking at political stuff and they're looking at all these.
Yes.
Your actions are always different. So like, that's what I mean. Like, unfortunately, the reality is aspirational is what sells. And this body inclusivity thing, this body positivity thing has proven it doesn't sell because that get woke, go broke rhetoric, as soon as you start, unfortunately, including and representing the average person, your shit falls down because people go, fuck, I don't want to see an overweight girl in lingerie. I want to see a woman that I will never be, and I'm going to buy it because it'll make me feel a little bit sexier, because what happens is I emotionally connect that product with the sexy woman, and that's
You're
me.
right. You're like, I don't want to be me in lingerie.
Yeah.
I want to try and be that woman in that lingerie.
It's the same, yeah. Like, and the irony is it gives you that confidence because you create this attachment with how you're used to seeing that lingerie. And then you put it on and you feel like that woman you've seen. You know it's not true.
Yeah.
But you feel, and the irony is that empowers women more than seeing a woman who looks like you, and then you're like, and that's why the sales went down.
Yeah, you're right.
So
yeah, that's a really good point. Yeah, by seeing something aspirational, when you put that stuff on, like lingerie, for example, you almost like detach from that insecure version of yourself because you're like, oh, I'm like her.
Yeah.
Rather than I'm just me in nice underwear.
Yeah.
And I still hate myself.
Yeah. It's such a bizarre thing. But it's again like you see kids put on Jordan shoes and all of a sudden they're doing more shit. They're like, oh my God, I'm better.
Where's my fucking basketball?
And then they put on Converse and they're like, I just didn't feel good today.
Yeah,
like,
the vibes were off this morning.
Little off
when I put my Converse on.
Yeah, those commies.
You're right. Yep.
So that's why I'm anti-positive movement because you never see people
I'm so
happy
pro
too.
Loving people and respecting people.
That's the thing.
I'm anti being a fucking idiot about it.
That's right. I'm definitely pro respect. Like,
also,
with limitations.
What type of personal trainer would I be if I was like, babes, like I fucking love you and that's all that matters?
Yeah. Well,
that would not be good.
Yeah, and like I mean, you've seen there's a big movement right now of fat athletes. Have you seen them?
No.
So it's a new thing. It's a movement. It's these overweight ladies who are complaining there's nothing in their size and they have to get custom clothing because they're a fat athlete and no one caters for fat athletes. It's just another part of this delusional thing. And I think there is that putting a label on something like fat athlete, which I don't even know what they're athletic, but I don't know what they're doing. Like looking at the gym, maybe thinking of eating
the equipment.
Yeah. So yeah.
Do not put that anywhere.
Fat.
Straight to jail.
Straight to jail. But yeah, like it's just interesting that the people that lie about, like they're lying to themselves.
Yeah.
Like, no, I'm confident in myself. And I had a friend of mine who, how do I say this? Because I will sound like a bigot. but it's coming from a gay guy.
Okay.
Okay, my gay friend. These are his words, not mine.
Yeah.
He said when people are like, I'm gay, you deal with it. What they're really subconsciously saying is, I'm still dealing with it. And I need you to deal with it first because I don't want to deal with myself.
Yep.
And that was coming from a gay guy. I didn't say it.
No, that is so true.
And
That is so true.
And so part of that
The
is,
firmer your stance, the more I'm sensing some insecurity with what you're saying.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I feel like the body positivity movement is that. It's like, no, I'm confident in it and you are judging me. It's like, you're judging yourself.
Also, I didn't say anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was saying before. There's two of us. Which one is seeking validation right now and fighting and being defensive? It's not me.
Which is rough because it's like I don't know how you get people to see that other than once they start losing weight.
Fucking self-development, read a book, touch some grass, meditate, go to the gym, eat well, sleep more, maybe have more sex.
Well, there you have it, guys. That's how you do it.
That's how you do it, right?
Yeah.
But instead, you can't say that because then you're body shaming.
Well, what I used to say to some clients, I'm like, look, do you plan on being alive in the next 5 years? Everyone says yes. Of course they do.
I mean, I hope so.
Yeah. So would you rather in 5 years' time look back and be like, fuck, I should have done something? Or would you rather look back and do you think you're going to look back at the last 5 years and be like, man, I wasted 300 hours a year at the gym to lose weight and I lost weight.
Yes.
And I think everyone always like in the moment they go, oh, absolutely. But I'm always trying to look at that 5 years ahead going, all right,
Yeah.
how much regret am I trying to mitigate and avoid?
Yeah.
And people, that's a hard thing to keep looking at though, because there's so many shiny objects outside of the gym.
Yeah, we're in like an age of instant gratification. Like no one can wait for anything. They need it now.
That is true.
Like weight loss, cars, but weight loss.
Weight loss. So do you ever set like expectations with people going like, hey, I want you to mentally commit to 100 sessions across the year?
No, but I'm like, whatever number you're thinking, it's way fucking more.
100%.
Whatever you're thinking, you are going to have to work way harder than what you're expecting.
Yeah.
But I'll be here to support you.
Yeah. Yeah, it's that is a true thing. I always tell people like, if you think it's gonna be this hard, put it there.
Yep.
What's your goal with this place? If you have one, or is it just mitigating, like ebbs and flows?
Move into a bigger space.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just about to say, then I'll be happy.
You'll never be happy. Not in a bad way.
Not in a bad way, but I will
Always,
chase the next thing.
Yes.
So I don't know what's after the next thing. I'll figure that out once I'm at the next thing. But like a warehouse vibe, I think will be super cool.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nice. Would you ever do... I'm interested in your opinion actually on online training versus in person.
Yeah, like I've done it. Train people online. Don't enjoy it. Like I like that face-to-face thing. Like I love getting up at 4 a.m, coming here and getting bullied horrifically. Like I just love that. That would never happen online. Also, most of our lives are online.
Yeah.
I want some connection face-to-face.
I like that.
But for some people, I bet it works wonderfully.
Yeah. That is a good point. There's a detachment right now. Definitely online is much more scalable, faster.
Yeah.
But, cool.
I don't know, but like if I'm face-to-face and I'm making decent money and I can go to the beach in the middle of the day and see my friends and afford to do cool stuff, I'm happy. I don't need to be like, here's my Lamborghini. Well, I mean, eventually I will. Eventually I'll get a nice car and be like, woo. But like at 25, meh.
Yeah. It's funny though. I was saying this to someone yesterday. I always thought I wanted to get the items, like I make money to get the items and then, I'm making very good money compared to what I used to, but I've already realized it's the process that's fun and the toys, unless I can get them as a tax write-off,
Not interested.
Not interested.
Not interested.
Like the thought of a Lamborghini is so much like meh.
A
Which is so
Lamborghini,
bizarre.
no.
Like 5 years ago, I'd be like, oh,
I've got a bit of a thing with cars. I love cars.
Mm.
So like if I can eventually get like, you know, a Porsche like GT3 RS, beautiful, lovely, but not for anyone else. That will be for me and
Yeah.
for me only. Hopefully they sell one-seaters by then because not fucking interested in sharing it with anyone, right? But the other things, the little things, you know, like the designer bags and whatever else, I'm like, I worked so hard. I'm not going to waste my money on that. But
Yeah.
let's go overseas.
Yeah.
Let's go on a holiday. Let's go for a nice dinner. You know what I mean?
100%.
It's all the little experiences. It's not the stuff.
Yeah. Cool. Wow. Dude, this is fun.
Slay.
Slay. What's this slay thing?
Dude, I don't know.
Dude, someone else said this to me the other day. They're like, all right, yo, dude, slay. And I'm just like,
So my niece is 12,
I'm like,
right?
what
And
is-
she always says slay.
Yeah.
But then recently it's become snatched. So we were like, oh, slay. And she was like, no one says that anymore.
isn't slay like a drag queen thing or like a
Slay.
Isn't
yeah.
that?
And now it's like, oh, that's so snatched. Oh, snatched. And I don't understand.
Neither do I.
It's aged me.
Yeah. How old are you?
25.
You're aged. I'm 36 almost.
Yeah, you look younger than me.
I'll take it. It's the mo. Maybe.
No, it's your skin. It's gorgeous.
It's gorgeous.
The fuck?
I'll take that.
Damn.
All right, dude. So where can people find you? Your link will be in the description, but
I don't know.
Maddie Fitness, Maddie
I think
Williams.
my
Fitness?
Instagram's Coach Maddy Williams. I'm pretty sure.
I don't know. Is it?
Yeah, yeah.
I just always search Maddie Williams and it pops
Yeah,
up
it
for
comes
me.
up.
Yeah,
Even though you'll find like 6,000 Maddy Williams.
Really?
In Concord, probably.
probably.
Yeah.
But
no.
dude, thank you for catching up.
Thank you for
That was
catching up.
fun. Were you all right? Do you want to
I
talk to
thought my
camera?
client was about to come in.
They can come in.
They can come in, but
Yeah.
preferably don't come in. Yeah.
Well, we'll do this again when I get back to Australia. Or come to America. Fuck it. But
Maybe.
see you guys. Subscribe, please.
See you later, alligators.